I'm Dr. Benita Rattan. I'm a doctor, but I'm also a cosmetic formulator specifically for skin of colour. Right, so today's video is about the best and worst serums for dark spots for skin of colour. A lot of my videos, I only talk about the positives and I try not to say anything negative about any product, but dark spots are a big problem and a big issue for us for skin of colour. And so a lot of the products that were really made for Caucasian skin, not for skin of colour. And so when we purchase a product that's not great for skin of colour, not only do we often not get the results that we want because our pigmentation is darker, but also it can lead to more pigmentation because of the inflammation that can occur. Now with Caucasian skin, when inflammation happens, they don't get pigmentation after because their melanocytes are much smaller than our melanocytes. Our melanocytes, cells that produce the pigment melanin, are large and they are easily triggered. They are unforgiving. Like I always say, one scratch, one bite or one burn and we hyperpigment. This doesn't happen to Caucasian skin. Basically, I just went into Google and I typed in dark spot serums. And I looked at the shopping cart at the top and I literally just one by one went through each of them because I figured this is actually what you guys are probably doing. You're probably typing into Google dark spot serums and you just purchase the one that has, is either got good reviews or well priced or has the best marketing spiel that goes with it, and is a little bit unfair, to be honest, on us. So today's video is a little bit different to my usual ones, and I will be calling out all the serums that I do not want you to purchase. I do not want you to waste your money on, your hard-earned money, and I'd rather you saved it and bought something nice. So if that sounds good to you, give me a thumbs up. Let's dive right in. So first of all, let's talk quickly about the reasons why you would purchase a product for dark spots, what's causing the dark spots. Either it's melasma on the face caused by UV, which tends to happen more in females, or secondly, it's from acne, and it tends to happen in teens and adults, mainly on the face or the back, or some form of inflammation has taken place from trauma, such as insect bites. These tend to be the common reasons why our skin of colour community get dark spots. The most important thing for you to note, however, is if you're not wearing SPF 50, none of these serums are going to work. Even the best ones aren't going to work because nothing is going to fight the sun. UV darkens all pigmentation, and the classic mistake people make is they think if they're tanning, the skin surrounding the pigmentation is getting darker and so it's being camouflaged. But actually what's happening is, the pigmentation is getting worse. Yes, it's being camouflaged temporarily, but as soon as your tan goes, that pigmentation is going to look darker. And so please don't fall into that trap. It's a common trap that can happen. So getting more sun doesn't make your skin healthier. Now, broadly, there are three categories that treatments for dark spots fall into. Number one is exfoliation. Now, exfoliation is a temporary measure. It should be part of the routine, but honestly, it's a bit of a gimmick because what it is you're taking the top layer of skin away, but your skin is a living organ and skin will continue to grow back. And so actually all you've done is just temporarily brighten the skin, but no long-term benefits. The good news for a marketer, however, is you can say, look, instant brightening. And so people fall for that. They think, this is a quick fix. Then you wonder why the pigmentations come back again. So yes, you want to incorporate it as part of the routine, but that is not the long-term strategy. The second mechanism of action is to prevent the parcels of pigment from going from the melanocyte, the cell itself, to the surrounding skin cells. And we use niacinamide to do that. So it's a very effective ingredient and I would recommend it. The third mechanism of action is to calm down the actual melanocyte itself and bring it back to normal. And there are many tyrosinase inhibitors that I recommend for us to use. So for example, I've just written a few here: alpha-arbutin, licorice root extract, green tea extract, octadecanoic acid, kojic dipalmitate, azelaic acid. So these are just a few that I love for skin of colour. Now, really the criteria is, number one, the product cannot cause more irritation, because if it causes more inflammation, irritation can lead to more pigmentation. You want safe products. That means no denatured alcohol, no fragrance, no essential oils. Number two, you want to make sure that you're using an SPF 50. Number three, you want to make sure the ingredients are in the therapeutic index. Unfortunately, cosmetics is pretty unregulated when it comes to percentage actors, and you can market an ingredient and it be 0.001%, and you can say, but it's in the product, and you can put it on the packaging and you can sell it based on that ingredient. And so this is how we get duped. And then we wonder why the product doesn't work. So it's essential that the ingredient is in the therapeutic index. Number 4, I would say, is for skin of color, we really need combination actives. Single active tyrosinase inhibitors just don't touch our pigmentation, honestly. Unfortunately, I have to work with whatever is on the market. And so The Ordinary, for example, is one of the most popular brands. And I've done a whole series. I think I've done about 10, 15 videos just on The Ordinary and how to layer The Ordinary. But the fact is that once you put the first layer of active on and then the second layer, by the time you get to the third layer, very little is penetrating those other 2 layers, let alone getting into the skin. And so it's a good, cheap way to start. And I would still say start cheap and start with, these single actives that you're layering. But at the back of your mind, I do want you to know that if you're not seeing results, it's probably because the actives are not getting to where they need to get to. Really, we want cocktail creams. We want creams that contain multi-tyrosinase inhibitors that get put onto the skin simultaneously, that penetrate simultaneously. So when I started doing this YouTube channel about a year ago, I did a lot of videos on dark spots. I had my clinic at the time. I realized actually a lot of the products available, may contain 1, 2, maximum 3 tyrosinase inhibitors. And I know from my clinic that we really needed 10 tyrosinase inhibitors. And that's a reason I created a whole series of pigmentation kits for you. So this one's the facial pigmentation kit. This one is the dark circles pigmentation kit. I've also got the body pigmentation kit, a bikini pigmentation kit, all for skin of color, all containing tyrosinase inhibitors each, because I want to make sure that there was an option for you to upgrade. Start cheap, start with the single and double actives. If that's not working for you, then upgrade to the 10 tyrosinase inhibiting kits, which you can find from skincarebydrv.com, and the link is down below for that. A few other classic mistakes I see being made is people not using a fatty moisturizer. This is a big problem because guess what? Vitamin A is drying and can make pigmentation actually look darker. So people wonder, hold on, I'm using a serum, why is my pigmentation looking darker and my skin feeling drier and more sensitive? It's probably because of vitamin A. You want to be using a fatty moisturizer to get those water molecules in between the skin cells. So I like CeraVe, Cetraben, and of course CeraPep brightening moisturizer from the Dr. Mita Rattan range. The link for this also is down below. It's the one that I wear, that I literally made for my own face because I get pigmentation. The next mistake I see being made is people switching too soon from one serum to the next, thinking they haven't seen results, let me buy another thing. But the thing is, it takes us at least a month, 1 month cell cycle, just for new skin cells to come to the surface. And for us, we require about 3 to 6 cell cycles to start seeing any reduction because it's that difficult to treat. And so switching too soon, you're not going to see results either. I'd also say wash-offs are not as effective, obviously, as leave-on products. So these brightening washes, okay, you can use them in conjunction, but really you need a leave-on product. Now get ready for your pen and paper to write down all the best and worst dark spot serums available on Google. So first one is Kiehl's Clearly Corrective Dark Spot Solution. It's honestly a terrible formula. So let me go through it. So water. So when you look at the ingredients list, you look at the back of the INCI list, and it tells you in descending order the ingredients that are in the product. So the ingredients with the largest quantity are right at the top, and it's in descending order down to about 1%. So let's talk a little bit about this Kiehl's formula. So it's basically water, propylene glycol, glycerin. So these are, water is the solvent, glycerin is a humectant, so that's fine. But then the fourth ingredient here is denatured alcohol. Denatured alcohol is drying, it's a volatile, right? So when it evaporates, it gives that drying feeling, but it also takes water away with it. Remember I told you we want to be adding water in between the skin cells. We don't want to be dehydrating the skin, so that's a problem. The seventh ingredient, so quite low down on the INCI list, is 3-O-ethyl-ascorbic acid. And then everything else is less than 1%. Everything else a fraction of 1%, so not in the therapeutic index. So this is basically a vitamin C serum. And if you're going to make a vitamin C serum, it must be in combination because it's an antioxidant. It's unstable on its own. Plus, it should be in an airless pump without any oxygen around it or any light hitting it. It really is it's $56. Save your $56 and please don't purchase this product. The next one is $98 and is SkinCeuticals Discoloration Defense. Okay, the one thing I like about this product is that it's NAF safe. The first ingredient here is water, then butylene glycol. These are basically solvents. The third ingredient here is niacinamide, so it's a healthy dose of niacinamide, which is good. Sixth ingredient here is tranexamic acid, and then the ninth ingredient, so very, very low percentage, is kojic acid. I would just say these are very low percentage actives for skin of color. It's basically niacinamide plus tranexamic acid, but for $98, I expect a lot more than that. Honestly, there are many products out there, discoloration serums with niacinamide plus tranexamic acid at less than £10. So $98 is honestly marketing, branding, and paying people to do ads about this particular product. If you understand formulas, you just would never purchase this product. The next product is the Ordinary Glycolic Acid 7%. So this is basically the exfoliation that I was talking about before, you know, quickly taking off the top layer of skin. Oh, wow, this is amazing. However, 7% is quite high for skin of color. And for glycolic acid specifically, I would recommend 5% or less. So I just wouldn't recommend this particular product for pigmentation. I know a lot of people see good results with it, and that's fine. But I think for my channel, because, you know, we've had 30, 40 million views of this channel, for us, even 1% reactions is too high. It's hundreds of thousands of people. So for me, I would say no to this particular product. If you find a glycolic acid at 5% or less, I'm more likely to say yes. But there honestly are better exfoliators for skin of color than glycolic acid. The next one here is Murad Rapid Age Spot and Pigment Lightening Serum. This is $78. It is not nafe safe. It contains a fragrance plus limonene. The fifth ingredient here is niacinamide. The 10th ingredient here is a schoolbar glucoside, and the 11th ingredient is hexapeptide. So basically 10th and 11th ingredient are really pretty low percentages. It's essentially a niacinamide serum. I'm not impressed with this product. For $78, just buy the ordinary niacinamide. Moving on to First Aid Beauty, the niacinamide dark spot product. The thing I like about it is that it's nafe safe. The second ingredient here is niacinamide, so it's a healthy percentage. The 11th ingredient here is licorice root extract, so a very low percentage and probably used just for marketing. Essentially, it's a niacinamide serum. It's okay, it's not great, and it's $42. So again, I would say purchase just the niacinamide serum from The Ordinary. Moving on to the next product, which is Miele Even Dark Spot Control Serum. So this is targeted to skin of color, and I'm just going to put it out there. When it comes to skin of color, I expect excellence, because when we are being targeted, I expect it to be a product that was made for us if you're going to put our name on it. I don't want someone just to make a product that is not designed for us, but to stick for skin of color on there to dupe people to purchase it. I'm completely transparent on this. I'm going to hold you to a much higher standard than I would for the normal brand, because the normal brand, I'm assuming, really was designed for Caucasian skin and they can get away with more. For us, I expect it to be nafe safe. I expect ingredients in the therapeutic index. I expect the product to work. I expect packaging to be perfect. I just expect a lot more if you're catering to the skin of color family. Otherwise, I'm going to make a whole video on it, like I'm going to be doing later on today on the Dr. Barbara Sturm darker skin tones range. I was very upset with that one. Right, so the Miele one, so it's not nafe safe. They added in coumarin, limonene, linalool, and fragrance. So these are the number one cause of contact dermatitis. Now, contact dermatitis for skin of color equals pigmentation. And so really we want our products to minimize any form of irritation or inflammation. The fifth active here is niacinamide, which is a healthy dose, and I'm happy with the percentage. Everything else is less than 1%. I would say this is waste of money and marketing for skin of color, but really not ideal for us. That one is $25.99. I think the price is fine, but not impressed with the formula, I'm sorry. The next product I don't like. There are some yeses at the end of this video, but I just wanted, these are popular products that are being sold in the thousands. So I just, that's why I'm doing this video. So the next one is Eucerin Anti-Pigment. The second ingredient here is denatured alcohol, so it's going to be a drying product. The 11th ingredient is the next active, which is sodium ascorbate phosphate. And then the 13th ingredient here is licorice root extract. Plus it's got perfume in it, so it's not nafe safe, and the actives are not in the therapeutic index. So don't buy this product. And then the next product I don't like is Clinique Radical Dark Spot Corrector. The 7th ingredient here is ascorbyl glucoside. All other actives are at a tiny percentage, and it's £38 for this serum. It's basically a vitamin C serum that's not in combination, that's not been stabilized. Again, go to the ordinary. I have a whole section in our Skin Revolution book published by HarperCollins on pigmentation and dark spots. So make sure you head over and have a look at this. The link is down below as well. And so let's get into the best products for dark spots. So the first one I love, and I'd highly recommend is Good Molecules Discoloration Serum. 2% tranexamic acid, 4% niacinamide. So in that 2 to 5% range. $12. That is an absolute bargain. Buy now. As you know, none of my videos have been sponsored and they will never be sponsored, but that is definitely the one to start with. The next product I like is Regina Calm from Face Theory. This is retinol palmitate, so it's the least irritating but also the least effective form of vitamin A, plus sodium ascorbyl phosphate. So this is a weak product. It's not going to be as effective as the Good Molecules Discoloration Serum, to be honest, but it is non-irritating and it is another good first step. The last product I like is Paula's Choice Discoloration Repair Serum. So this is NAFE safe. It does contain tranexamic acid. It is £46, so it is an expensive product. Paula's Choice generally is a little bit more on the expensive side. And again, I love the product, I love the packaging, but I would probably start with the Good Molecules Discoloration Serum and see how you get on with that one first, because that is just by far the best buy. If you're not seeing results with those, you can upgrade to the facial pigmentation kit, the Dr. V kit. These are tyrosinase inhibiting kits for skin of color and contain 10 tyrosinase inhibitors each, but don't start with my kits. They're expensive. These are £110 each. It's not a first step. You start with the products I've discussed first. Do it for a good 3 to 6 months with a fantastic SPF 50. The one obviously I'm wearing is Unsinkable SPF 50 Mineral for skin of color with MelaShield in it, which is a tyrosinase inhibitor safe to use during the day. So start cheap first, and if that fails you, then you now have an option to upgrade. That's the reason I made these kits, is there was no option for us. You know, if the single actives and the double actives weren't working, there was nothing. So I just wanted to, you know, create this so that at least you had an option. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Skincare by Dr. V and Dr. Vita Ratan, and on TikTok, Dr. Vita Ratan. I'm in the comment section for 1 hour at the launch of every single video. So do hit that notification bell and subscribe. Take care. Bye.